Just before a short introduction, short video about the history of the Tour de France.
Born from a single idea, to help sell newspapers, the Tour de France started its journey to greatness in 1903. Advances in technology have helped to spark more ideas. Ideas that have helped transform the Tour de France into one of the largest sporting events in the world. Brought together by pioneering people and innovative technology, it's the sum of all these small ideas that allows the potential for greatness to become infinite. But sometimes, before you can move forward, you need to look back. In 1903, Maurice Garin won the first Tour de France by 2 hours, 59 minutes and 21 seconds. It's still the largest margin of victory ever recorded on the Tour, setting the record for greatness. Each stage was extraordinarily long, making it an epic test of endurance, with entrants often riding long into the night. As the race evolved, technology gave new dimensions to the Tour and helped organisers to reach a wider audience. Cinema audiences were first, thanks to hand-cranked cameras and a mobile developing lab. But such manual processing meant they could only produce 5 minutes of footage per stage, and broadcasting was always a day behind the live event. The audience wanted more. Live action had to come from another media. Newspaper journalists Jean-Antoine and Alex Bureau made the first live broadcast from the Tour de France for Radio Cité, finally reaching the whole population of France.
Okay, here for the first time, the live sounds of the race.
Sometimes, though, technology evolves faster than anticipated, creating new, exciting possibilities. The bicycle manufacturer Mavic had a revolutionary idea, one that Antonin the Monk Magnier believed could help him win the Tour in 1934. The following year, organisers of the Tour saw the potential of Mavic's innovation and turned the Monk into a pioneer. 1948 saw the first live TV broadcast from the Parc des Princes as the Tour de France joined the ranks of televised sports and reached out to a global audience. As the pace of broadcasting and the popularity of the Tour continued to grow, so too did the demands on the riders and their equipment. From 50 seconds behind, technology helped Greg LeMond win the Tour by 8 seconds in 1989. Microelectronics and earpieces now connect riders with their support team, so they can give riders feedback on the competition and enhance their race tactics. Welcome to the digital era. Dimension data, together with the ASO, have helped the Tour de France break new ground, revolutionizing the viewing experience via live tracking that produces real-time speed and location data on the 198 riders, all racing for the chance to achieve greatness. Altogether, we process more than 60 million separate data records over the course of the Tour de France. And to think, all of this started with a single idea.
So this is a short history in 3 minutes about the Tour de France. And the history of the Tour de France is also something that you can see just behind you with the evolution of the bicycles also during the Tour de France. The first bike that you can see on the left from 1958 is the bike from Charlie Gaulle riding the Tour de France. You can see that there is no gears at all. Then there is the bike of Greg LeMond in 89, and the latest one is the bike from Mark Cavendish riding the Tour de France last year. This is the official bike of Mark Cavendish, Team Dimension Data. And you can see that there is a lot of evolution also in the mechanics in the bicycles. Mark Cavendish, yes. You can see also another bike, just in the industry, which is not the same, it's not for competition. Those bikes are bikes that are built by an association called Quebeca. This is the association for which the Team Dimension Data is riding. Team Dimension Data is a team that has been founded in South Africa in 2007 and is called Team Dimension Data since last year. And this team is riding for Quebeca providing bicycles for children in Africa. And the slogan of Quebeca is Bicycle Change Lives. Why bicycle change lives? It's because children often, the distance between the home and the school is too far. And if they have no locomotion, that they cannot go to the school. Having a bike, then they allow us to go to the school every day. This why bicycle change lives. Now, I invite you to go into the second section where we will explain you a little bit more about the technology that we have implemented to make the change, make a revolution of the viewing experience of the Tour de France.
So we're here with some listeners from ARA City Radio. Sam's here as well. We're hoping he's going to be on a bike at some stage. He's dodging that. He's dodging it. And we're about to find out more about the digital side of the Tour de France. I mean, what I think is interesting is the fact that technology and the evolution of the Tour have basically gone hand in hand.
So what is important to understand is the services that Telemetry Data is providing in association with ASO, who is the company that is organizing the Tour de France. Is for decades, this company ASO made business based on rights resale, selling rights to broadcast on radio, television, selling newspaper and so on. And digital is changing that. And this is the evolution in the time. I don't know if you know what has been the single idea displayed in the video about the creation of the Tour de France at the beginning. You know that? Initially, it was something that has been created. Tour de France has been created with the objective to sell newspapers. That was the single idea at the beginning. Today, it's changing. The initial, before we starting to make the revolution of the viewing experience of the Tour de France, we had the ardoisier with the information on the screen. Now we are in the digital era, and what was really challenging, it's about the timing. The timing, the grand départ of the Tour de France, the 4th of July 2015, and we did that project in 4 months. 4 months, we integrated 11 cities, 5 continents, working 4 months to make it happen. And what we provided in 4 months in 2015, it's for the first time the broadcasting based on camera located in the bicycles, providing new information, new graphics to the televisions, a website where fans were able to follow their favorite riders, and introduction into social media. And it was the first time at the television where we can see this kind of information, live speed of a specific rider. And then we had a lot of information in the social media and so on, and creating some competition between riders, because as they receive their individual statistics, then they can compare each other's. In 2016, we improved the way we collect the information and the information that we are providing to the different fans and to the different broadcasters. And this created a digital ecosystems where we have a lot of visits in the website, a lot of downloads of the mobile application, and a lot of views in terms of video that we are producing. And we added some new analytics on the Tour de France. For instance, last year, the stage where Froome has taken the yellow jersey, and we understood, based on the overall speed of the different riders in the last 15 kilometers, that Froome gained the yellow jersey in the descent of the Col de Peyre-Sourde, because he has gained 13 seconds. a lot of information about a sprint where there is 3 riders involved in the sprint, where we can see the different speeds of the different riders in the last 1,000 meters. And you see, even if Peter Sagan was had the highest speed during the sprint, he hasn't won the sprints because he doesn't manage the effort according to the sprints. And you see that Mark Cavendish won the sprint because he has managed correctly the time he made the effort. So a lot of information. We added some information about weather conditions. And now, what is the technology behind? The technology in the screen, you see the technology that was used the last 2 years. On the wall here, you see the technology that will be used this year on the Tour de France, in 2 weeks now. So there is a lot of data that are collected in the left on the different bikes. The data are sent to the motorbike that are following the Tour de France. The information are sent to the helicopters, and the helicopters are sending all the information to a intelligent data big data track, which is the central point where we are doing some analytics, providing some information to live streaming, to live television, to press people that are making comments in real time. And then all those information are available to every people based on the mobile application, based on the website. And this track where we are sitting today is the Client Experience Center. The Client Experience Center is a central point for all social media information that will be published in 2 weeks now. Now, this is a high-level view of the technology. What is very important to understand is that this technology that is applied to the Tour de France is something that can be applied to every kind of business, every kind of usage. And I will let now Eric explaining a little bit what technologies can bring and can change lives today.
Yes, good morning and welcome. And this digitization of the tour is just one example of the kind of ambitious things we're capable of doing by using, new technologies, which is our bread and butter. And quite clearly, we think we are at the dawn of a new era, which we call the fourth industrial revolution. I'll just move through this quickly. And that revolution actually results from kind of like the convergence of a number of trends in high tech, broader than IT itself. This causes, it shakes most industries. Disruption, as they say, in which we see new players emerging quickly in many industries, and some disappear as quickly as well. So it really is so disruptive, represents such a critical mass that we think we can really call it a revolution. The first industrial revolution was about powering, mechanizing things through the steam engine, then diesel engine. Then came along the second revolution with the advent of electricity, and then came computers and robots in the first generation. Now in the fourth generation, we talk about digitization, which cuts through all industries, as I say. One example of the speed at which things happen nowadays, thanks to digital technologies. This slide is just illustrating the example of Alibaba in China. In China they've got so many singles that they've started celebrating Singles Day, the same way we celebrate Valentine. They probably do both. And Alibaba, just in one day, just through the purchase of gifts for Singles Day, made an $18 billion turnover. And we know China is a very big market, but that gives you some sense of what's become possible thanks to technology, because Alibaba is obviously fully digital platform compared to the old days of brick and mortar or department stores that would have been unachievable in such a short amount of time if it wasn't through digital technology. So those trends which we see converging to make that possible are mostly, I mean, the existence nowadays of digital platforms, mainly what they call cloud, that offer, you know, easily accessible services that you can resort to in just minutes, rather than having to install heavy technology through large projects, which used to take weeks, months, years sometimes. And those platforms, they provide new software-based services, which we call microservice architecture, meaning that some microservice, so minimum functionalities, software functionalities developed independently but openly available can be combined to form new platforms and applications very quickly. So that reduces also the rollout time of any kind of new digital service. We see also the emergence of new technologies in finance and in business dealing through blockchain. You've heard about Bitcoin as well, the cryptocurrency, and distributed ledgers. So it's going to allow people to transact safely without knowing each other and without intervention of a third trustworthy party as part of the transaction. You've seen also some wearables, you know, those Apple Watches, etc. You know, the Dimension Data is part of NTT Group, and NTT Docomo, which is the mobile carrier branch of or division of NTT, have developed this intelligent T-shirt. It's got a biometric sensor on it. So wearing this T-shirt, you can actually keep track of your vital parameters such as pulse, blood pressure, etc. So we've offered the tour to actually use it on the cyclists. They didn't like it too much because it would reveal too much to their opponents as to their exact state physically, etc., particularly in going up mountains and things. So yes, but the technology does exist, and there is a medical version of this technology that allows patients to be constantly monitored in hospitals remotely, because this actually relays the information wirelessly rather than having a nurse visit them every hour or something for keeping track of their parameters.
They use this in training, though, surely.
They do, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But they don't want us to integrate and publish the data on the fly for the reasons I've explained. It gives away too much as to where they are at in terms of struggling, I imagine, which they don't want others to know. Robotics is a fast developing area of technology as well. Why? Because the previous generations of robots were working kind of like independently, pre-programmed. Nowadays, robots are completely wirelessly connected and interact with each other, and they even interact with the matter that they work on, which is connected as well. So essentially, in what we call Industry 4.0, there's a lot more intelligence on the manufacturing floor that allows things to, essentially, it allows manufacturers to do tailor-made pieces in sort of a chain production environment with a lot more flexibility in terms of speed of creating new models of things or doing them on demand without interrupting and reprogramming the production chain. Artificial intelligence is obviously key to all this. Analytics as well, that's what we use. So all the connections create a lot more data than in the past. So you need some intelligence to be able to cope with that complexity and that ocean of data, so you can actually process it and extract from it some actionable items or actually real information rather than space data. And machine learning is, of course, a way to learn from such vast or large sets of data, which the human brain is not capable of processing, obviously. Virtual and augmented reality is an area that I really strongly believe in. You all know about video games that create a totally virtual world. I also believe very much into the applications more in the corporate or business environment of augmented reality. It's going to create new possibilities of interaction. Augmented reality could be as simple, if I may say, as on-the-fly translation, for instance, in video conferencing. I've experienced that. As well as some on-the-fly analytics, which I see very interesting, or to actually provide people wearing glasses, for instance, to have their vision augmented by some extra information regardless of the context. So, for instance, through a video conference, you could in the future have indicators of the state of mind of your counterpart, which they won't see, so they'll give you insight as to their I don't know, drowsiness, stress, how they receive your message, and maybe an alert if you forgot to mention certain arguments or something like that. There are possibilities that will, I'm pretty sure, will appear very soon. Internet of Things, of course, what is it? Virtually anything will be connected. Why? Because electronics have become so much smaller than in the past, and consuming so little energy today that it's possible to make sensors which are really, really tiny, that you could essentially embed them or stick them to any object. So you can trace them, or they can collect information in terms of sensing whatever. Applications, for instance, would be to stick a very small sensor on any parcel in a transportation context, where the parcel can, on delivery, demonstrate that it hasn't been subjected to a particular range of temperature or stress or acceleration or shock or something like that. So that's just an example. So that's it pretty much. Those trends converge. If we combine them together, you see it's become completely limitless. So not only can we do things like digitizing the tour, but many other applications in virtually any industry, from healthcare to transportation, manufacturing, finance, hospitality, and the list goes on. Thank you.
And just to finish the visit, then there is the opportunity to experiment now using the bike with augmented reality.
Do you want to call them? Yeah.
This is a professional bike that you can try. For who is wanting to try? Who wants to experiment? Yeah, you can.
Get on there.
Please.
Yep, sorry. I'd better stand back in case they get me on a bike. I'm one of those in this audience participation and nothing happens. I'm in there whether I can do it or not, which is really bad.
Okay, so then you have the gears, electronic gears, and you can start.
Okay, so
you have the different information in the screen. You have the information of the roads with the inclination of the roads. You have the information of the power that is currently generated. You have the distance, and you have the information about the other rider that you have. So you are 4 seconds behind the previous rider. So you will change the position now. Okay, and then you have still 3 seconds. All those information and the distance between the different riders that you can see there.
So how does he know which? Oh, that one's the blue one's him. Okay, I see. Not even breaking a sweat.
200 watts, don't believe it, no way.
Where do you see that?
Right in the corner.
Oh, okay, you guys are reading things, but
That's quite a bit of power.
we could go off grid and just borrow friends and then you turn on the electricity.
So this is a trip. This is a trip in London.
Can you feel the change in the inclination?
Yeah, this is the
Do you feel
the
do you feel
stage.
the change?
So
Yeah.
it's changing. So you see it.
Yeah, and he feels it?
And you can feel
Yeah,
that in your
yeah,
neck? Yeah?
You're losing your aerodynamics. That's okay.
Oh, yeah, still 4 seconds.
Scott, are you up next?
No, this guy is.
Okay,
He's
so-
a good rider. He rides with Frank.
Really? No, no.
Okay.
I noticed Sam's gone outside for a better connection on the phone. I'm sure that's not why he's gone outside.
Yeah, that's a story.
Close the gap, okay.
Someone else want to try?
See, it's 50 watts. Nobody's doing anything.
Yeah.
50 watts is a lot of power.
There we go.
Yeah, the GS, yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
It's like
I didn't bring my shoes, so I can't do it.
You can bring your shoes.
I don't have my cycling shoes.
I know there is two elements. Small one.
There you go.
Sounds right. I recognise these places.
Go through the straight screen.
So where is this?
That's an embankment, I think.
There's the high right there.
Yeah.
That's London.
Here on the
Yeah,
left side of the road.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
I
That
know,
as
I
well.
just think get over it.
Wrong side of the road.
Why is he on that side?
So what data is it taking from here?
What?
What information is it gathering from this?
So yeah, the one generated,
Yeah.
the power, there is the distance, there is the
incline.
yeah, inclination. Here you have the information about the different riders. So it is
Now he's
1
coming up on
second
someone.
or 0 second now from the previous
Ah,
rider.
Got a serious hill coming.
For me, that
And the speed, yeah.
Cool.
And then it's possible to wear the intelligent suit t-shirts that you can
Yeah.
add addition to do that.
And
And then
then
you
take
have all
your-
the information about your rate and so on in addition.
So if they were using this kind of thing in training, that
Yes,
they would then
exactly.
have the jersey on.
This
Okay.
is a typical environment for training, especially in winter when there is you can do that internally and you have the training center and you can experiment and evaluate your rates, the power that you are generating and so on. Yeah,
You're gonna have a
it's quite realistic.
go on then.
Isn't it? It seems to be very easy, but in the reality, then you see it's quite a reality.
Good work.
That's because I don't ride.
Would you like a drink or a coffee?
So where are the gears? So that's on
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
There is 2 buttons.
Okay.
It's electronic gears, so.
Okay, I see. Oh, you could.
He's off.
It's sprinting.
Like it's all that current.
Yes, right.
It's still there.
Yeah.
There's no cable for it or anything. And it's a ship that's so super.
Is that like a light bulb? I don't know what was like in kilowatts.
Because it makes the perfect ship.
Yeah.
Very.
When you shift, you're kind of sometimes hard, sometimes soft.
This is the electronic there. Just for the gears.
I guess it's lighter as well because it's just
Sometimes there's one up here too, I don't know. They put buttons on the top and buttons on the bottom.
so
So you have alternate parts of the ship.
You okay?
Yeah.
Oh, you got a serious hill coming.
Has he? How can
Yeah.
you see that? Oh yeah.
Ah, it's going through London, is it? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's London.
Oh.
Went up with a ride. Yeah.
Do you notice the difference when you're going down the other side?
Yeah.
Really, yeah? Well, it's really interesting. It's so fun.
Right, Sam.
You ride that kind of ship?
You'll have to maybe help Sam.
I have done too.
Or no?
Huh?
Do you need to explain where the gears are? Or did you listen? Were you on the phone?
It's actually pushing.
I didn't get my leg over.
So which ones are the gear? Which buttons? These ones.
Yeah, the 2 buttons there.
The 2 buttons.
One
that
for going down, one for going up.
Sam's seen on the bike.
Yeah,
Are you going to try and make it look casual as if you're not bothered, Sam?
No, I don't know what. I can't even go down Actually, I'm flat and it's quite difficult.
So Sam's going through a tunnel right now. I'd really like a hill. Can we augment a hill in there? Can we-
Actually, so. Here we go.
Oh, bumpy road. Oh. Ah, that's downhill.
Yeah, like a 1958.
Ah, you went downhill. You knew it.
So I think it has like an 85 gear, 60 or 80 to have the rear.
Do you not need to watch where you're going? You've got to go through that fence.
No, you don't turn.
Oh, you don't turn it.
So it's getting over the cost.
Under 23%.
Yeah.
But it's half as hard as it would be.
Yeah, well, I'm
Up that hill.
So if you were the team trainer though, you could put a hill in there for him, couldn't you? Oh, okay. See, I
Pretty sure there's a really
it's for hill covering.
free the road.
See, I would just put hills in everywhere. Add a hill.
It will climb now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You see the position.
How do I go down, Gears?
Is it hard? You can feel it in your legs.
Yeah.
Well, if there's a hill coming, maybe just go easy right now, Sam. I'll be in the headset.
Yeah.
Okay, Sam, there's a hill coming.
Apparently they're saying, here's the climb.
Here's the climb.
Right,
Okay.
how do I shift down?
That's not a good question to ask in the middle of the tour, Sam. You were supposed to learn that yesterday. How does he shift down? Oops. Have you got it? Was this in your dog contract?
Where's the climb?
That's the climb. Have you fixed the gears?
50%.
I think it's Marina that's writing. Go faster, Sam. Faster. I couldn't job it. Bring it on. Mount something or other. Ventral. That's a little hill. Who else should have a... Would you like... Do you want a shot? No? Come on, Sam.
We'd bring home the goods.
Does anyone else want to go on? I was
It's rules for you to go on holidays if you want to go.
I know it's funnier if I go. I'm not going because it's way too high.
It's torture
I
too.
can lower the seat.
No, it's fine. Okay, who would like coffee? Is that an easier question?
You need to go?
Amanda, do you want to go on? Oh, they have the names of the... Yes, they have the names of the cyclists. Would you like to have a go? No, really? I can put the camera off if you just want to. Okay, guys, I'm going to put the live stream off. Thank you to everyone who's been watching.
17, 16, 17.
And this has been fun.
Cyclocross national champions.
For Sam.
17, 18.